working on it. Only got a sliver left. All right.
There's 2 light switches back there, if you don't mind. So Jeremiah chapter 19 this evening, as we continue to jog through Jeremiah. See what I did there? Well, yeah, okay. So, we've been learning, and last week continued with this kind of, it's been a theme through the book of Jeremiah. God uses Jeremiah, and we're going to see that with Ezekiel, he does the same thing. With Isaiah, we've seen that already a little bit, but using them as object lessons. And so much so that Jeremiah didn't get married. He was told by God not to get married. Kind of a radical thought. But God was using that in Jeremiah's life personally, but more so as a picture, because God could not be married to this people the way they were acting. And so, Jeremiah chapter 19, last week, just for sake of review, the potter, the wheel, and the clay. It was really a powerful, and if you haven't read Jeremiah chapter 18 on your own, in your own time, I encourage you to do so, because the Lord will use it just to speak to you, among many other things. But God is the potter, and we are the clay. Very simply put. And he's going to continue with that thought process. Remember, there were no chapter breaks. That he's in total control. In fact, one thing we always need to remember and take away from that, the very simple lesson that God is the potter, should be reason enough, and it should remind us enough who's in control. It's not the government that's in control. It's not any king ever that was in control. If anything, Jeremiah chapter 18 last week should remind us who's in control. It's encouraging. It's God. You're not in control, by the way. God is in control. He is sovereign. Absolutely sovereign. And he's in charge of everything. Did you know that? God is in charge of everything. We really lose sight of this because all we can go by is what we see, or what we hear, or what we, all the things that we might tune into. Careful, too. The prince of the power of the air has many waves, his air waves, and they get picked up. Every sound and every wind of doctrine gets picked up, and they're coming down the pike with new stuff every hour, every minute, right? And so who's in control? God. He's large and in charge. More than large. God is the one that's in control. So, Jeremiah, though, had been complaining where we left off. Remember, no chapter breaks. But the last little part there of chapter 18 last week, Jeremiah is saying, Lord, overthrow them. Just let them have it. and we talked about Jeremiah was not like Jesus on the cross, where Jesus would look and say, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. Jeremiah was a man. The saying still stands. The best of men are men at best. It does still stand. And Jeremiah proves that. So did David, by the way. Among many other failures, David did not hold up. He was a man, a very twisted and wicked man, just like all of us are. But Jeremiah is in this kind of just really getting, God, please come and do something for me. God, break their teeth in their mouth. The Spirit, he doesn't say that, that's what David said. But give to them what they deserve. In fact, he goes even further and says, Don't let their wives be widows. And their children even. Put them to shame. Give them what's coming to them, Lord. And I love chapter 19. The Lord doesn't give him kind of an explanation